Welcome to the lair of the Batty Boffin.
Hi there Batty fans, welcome to another Batty Boffin science video all about marvellous molecules. Now in earlier videos we introduced the concept of molecules, which is just a bunch of atoms all arranged together, stick together to make something else. But you can't just stick them together any old how, there have to be certain rules. And we learnt about carbon, oxygen and hydrogen, which are some of the most abundant and useful elements that there are. Carbon, which I'm showing here as black, likes to make 4 bonds. It likes to hold hands with 4 other things. As an example, here's this. I have carbon in the middle and it has 4 sticks coming out of it. If you don't have posh mollymod things like this, you can always use sweeties. Here's mine done with fruit pastils. Okay, so I've got 4 sticks coming out of it. That's my carbon in the middle. Now, other things like to make different numbers of bonds. Oxygen, for example, likes to hold hands with 2 different things. So, where are we? Where's my, oh, here we go. Here's my oxygen on the end, and it's got 2 sticks coming out of it. Or we've got this one here. There's my oxygen in the middle, with 2 sticks coming out of it. Here it is shown in the mollymods. Look at this close up. So, oxygen in red, making 2 bonds. The other one, the white, is only making 1 bond. That's that one here. And that's hydrogen. Hydrogen likes to make just 1 bond. So, those are the rules. Carbon must always make 4 bonds, oxygen must always make 2 bonds, and hydrogen must always make 1 bond. And what you've got to do is try to make these 4 common compounds. First of all, we have CH4. That means you use 1 carbon and 4 hydrogens, and you arrange those together to make methane. The next one, O2. Just use an oxygen and another oxygen. Remember, both of them must have 2 bonds, but they could be with each other, and make oxygen. That's the stuff we breathe. The next one, CO2, 1 carbon and 2 oxygens, and you can make carbon dioxide. And finally, one of the most famous ones of all, H2O, 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen, and that makes water. So pause the video and see if you can construct all of those now. Okay, yours should look something like these. Here's the oxygen. Here's carbon dioxide. And finally, water. Now, here's the challenge for you. Oh, by the way, this has a project sheet that you can download, print off. It's number 15. If you look on the website, www.battyboffin.co.uk, click there on the experiments page, and number 15 is all about making molecules using these kind of sweeties with sticks in them, and it gives you a challenge to do, which uses these 4 compounds here. So, what you need to do is to start off with some methane, which is a gas that you can burn, and when you burn it, it combines with oxygen in the air. That's what fires are. It's when oxygen combines with things. So you start off with 1 of those. You may have as many of those as you want because there's plenty of air, so use as many O2s as you like. But whatever you start with, you must use all of it up. So all of those hydrogens have got to be used up. And you're not allowed to leave any oxygen spare at the end. So you can have as many as you like to start with, but everything's got to be used up at the end. There must be no spare little ones, these, no spare connectors. There must be always everything connected up properly. See, that oxygen's only got 1 bond, so you can't have that. Everything must be connected up properly. Start off with 1 methane and as many oxygens as you like. And these are the compounds that you can make. See what you end up with. See you in a minute, Batty fans. Right, did you have fun with that? I hope you didn't eat too many of the jelly babies because that just kind of make the experiment go a bit wrong. So, here's what we started off with. I'm going to use my mollymods, but you can use the jelly babies. So, we started off with 1 and one of these. So that's one methane and one oxygen. We could have more of these if we want. And what we've got to do is take it all apart and rebuild it into some other things. So start us off, I'm going to deal with that carbon. Now, if I've got carbon to start off with, I've got to end up with some carbon. And the only thing that could be is carbon dioxide. So I'm going to make this into a carbon dioxide. There's my carbon in the middle. And di means two. Bi and di both mean two. So that's a carbon and two oxygens. So I'm using another oxygen molecule here. I've taken one apart and here's the other part of it. Ooh, that's being a bit tight in there. So that's used up my carbon, and that's fine. That's a nice carbon dioxide there. But I've got all these hydrogens left. Well, that's okay because I've got some more oxygens. And when I stick those together, I can make little kind of Mickey Mouse ear things, like Mickey Mouse with ears on stalk. Cross between Mickey Mouse and Shrek, really. So that's dealt with two of my hydrogens. I had 4 hydrogens altogether, so there's 2 of them there. And with the other 2, with the other bit of oxygen I happen to have, I can make another one. Ooh. So there we go. Using exactly the same atoms that I had before, I've turned it from one of those and 2 of those to one of those and 2 of those. And here's how we write that. We write CH4 plus 2 lots of O2 becomes a CO2 plus 2 lots of H2O, because we had 2 waters at the end. And that is a chemical reaction. What that means is you start off with a gas, and this is similar to what happens when you use a gas cooker or a little camping flame and you've got the gas you're burning there. You start off with the gas, you add oxygen when you burn it, and what you get off is carbon dioxide and water. Since it's hot, it'll be in the form of water vapour. So, you've just done your first chemical reaction. Well done. I'll see you next time, Batty fans.
Mwahaha! Mwahaha! Mwahaha!